everybody, we're back here with Dr. Joe Cangas. You know who I am. I'm Jeff Goldstein with Realty Executives. They make all this possible, get all this good information out to everybody in the internet world. Dr. Cangas kind of told us who he was as far as a pediatrician a little bit earlier, and I mentioned this word Lydexar, and I want Dr. Cangas to talk about Lydexar because Lydexar is becoming very well known around the St. Louis area, and there's other related products that Lydexar isn't involved with. I do know that Dr. Cangas wants to make sure that his Lydexar is the best product out there. So, Joe, go ahead. And I'm getting tongue-tied with Lydexar doing this intro. So go ahead and tell us about what is Lydexar.
So to take a step back, Lydexar is a made-up word, clearly. Never heard of it before. If you're starting a business, don't make up a word that nobody can spell, pronounce, or remember. But I did it anyway because it's a combination of my kids' names and my niece's name, and not to bring the mood down, but my niece committed suicide earlier this year, and it's just been heavy in my heart, and I want to honor her name and remember her name in the brand name itself. And then a portion of our proceeds from each bottle go to Chad's Coalition, which is a local program focusing on depression and suicide awareness in St. Louis areas and in schools even. So, now on a lighter note, CBD is what Lydexar is. So those of you who don't know, it's just my own brand of products that I've spent this last year developing and creating. Came from my patients asking me about CBD products and whether they could or should use them. And one particular case was a family with a child who they wanted to try it for seizures. And I really then just told them, you know, I really just need some time to help you decide whether I think that's safe to take. So I took 2 months, and we set a deadline so I would make sure I got it done. Spent 2 months reading everything I could find on CBD and trying to decide whether I thought it was safe for kids or not. And you know, I still can't recommend it for kids for a number of reasons, just because of FDA regulations and that, and there aren't enough studies to prove its safety, but I could find no information letting me think that there was any reason that a child couldn't take it at a parent's decision to do so. And since then, I read a lot about how it helps ADHD and anxiety and pain. And again, things I can't make recommendations for, it's just stories that people have shared with me on how they've taken it, family members who have taken it, used it, personal use, topically for pain. There's just so many different stories out there. For instance, I have 3-4 stories just in the last week of people I know who have used it for plantar fasciitis, and they have tried everything. You know, I've heard this story so many times when it comes to CBD products in general. I've tried everything and nothing has worked except this finally when I found it. And so much so even they have tried other CBD products and didn't have success, but have just had raving reviews and immediate relief for some of them, and some of them after repeated use have had some, you know, decrease in pain 70%. If you ever had plantar fasciitis, that's a big deal. I luckily haven't had to deal with that. Otherwise, a lot of great stories on anxiety. I know people taking very small doses and having relief of their anxiety. Family members taking it for anxiety with great success. You know, just story after story that led me to not only want to pursue CBD and understand it more, but then develop my own line so I knew my patients, family, and friends had a safe, reliable product. From there, you know, it really kind of led me down the path of what kind of product do I want to create, how do I want it to be. I really want it to be in pharmacies and healthcare providers' hands, because there are things that people aren't talking about when you buy it on the internet, you buy it at a CBD shop, those kind of things. Drug interactions are a big one. It does interact with many, many drugs. That doesn't mean you can't take it. It just means you need to talk to your doctor. You need to be aware of those interactions, so that way medications are followed. And for instance, blood pressure medicines and some blood thinners, you don't want your blood too thin. That could be a big issue. So you just want to make sure your doctors are working with you on that, which can be difficult as well, because some docs don't know CBD. Another reason I created my line, that hopefully that can be a resource for other doctors who want to know more about CBD and its safety. And then my brand's one that they will hopefully trust. As a medical doctor, I've taken the time to research the companies to extract the CBD, to make the products, to test the products, and then personally when I receive each batch, I send it for testing as well. So I'm double, triple checking everything. Nice. I don't know anyone who sells CBD or has their shop, but once they get their products, they send it for testing as well. So just another check to check those systems out there in a uncontrolled environment. CBD is referred to as the newest Wild Wild West. I think we've seen a lot of those things come and go, and there are products out there with no CBD, with too much THC. There are claims all over bottles that can't be made. There are a lot of claims of THC free, and to be clear right now, another reason I started my line, too many claims of THC free products. There's no such thing. There is some with very, very, very minimal, and some that most tests aren't checking. That doesn't mean there's no THC there. So someone whose job is at risk. You want to be careful with that.
Hey guys, there was a little technical difficulty, so things got kind of chopped up. I'm not going to go back to who this guy is because you know who he is and what he does, but give him a call if you want to talk about his products. This is Lydexar. Dr. Cangas would be glad to answer any questions you might have. He's done a lot of research, good stuff. You know who I am. I sell houses. Give me a holler. Thanks. We'll see you next time.